Imagine you're waking up one morning feeling a sharp, tingling sensation on your side, like a sudden jolt that refuses to fade. Over the next few days, it grows into a band of painful blisters, and every time you move, the discomfort intensifies. For many of us over 70, this experience of shingles is more than just an inconvenience. It's a real challenge that disrupts our everyday routines and can shake our confidence in our own bodies. You might worry, am I destined to live with this pain? Or will the medications do more harm than good? These concerns are completely understandable, especially if you're already managing other prescriptions and health conditions. Yet finding safe relief matters, not just for physical comfort, but also for emotional well-being and a sense of independence. Shingles pain can linger, occasionally evolving into post-herpetic neuralgia, a persistent discomfort that can continue long after the rash heals. Addressing this pain properly helps you move around more freely, do the activities you love, and feel in charge of your day again. Even if you've managed various aches and pains before, shingles can bring on a unique set of symptoms. That's why it's worth exploring the strategies that could keep it under control. We're going to talk about 5 types of medications commonly considered for shingles pain relief. These aren't miracle cures, and not every option is suitable for everyone. But knowing what might help and doing so safely can be a game changer when talking with your doctor. Now, I'm not a physician, and this is not medical advice. Think of this as friendly guidance for you to discuss with your healthcare provider, someone who knows your health history best. By the end of this conversation, you'll have a clearer sense of the medication classes that are often used for shingles pain, the misconceptions that might be holding you back, and some tips on avoiding potential pitfalls like over-medication or dangerous side effects. This information can empower you to ask more pointed questions at your next doctor's appointment, or to explore safer alternatives if you are worried about adding another pill to your daily routine. In the next few moments, we'll dig into each medication category, from familiar over-the-counter pain relievers to specialized nerve pain treatments, and clarify how they work, what side effects to watch for, and how they might fit into your life. We'll also tackle common fears, such as worrying that certain drugs are too strong for someone your age, or that you'll get hooked on a medication that's meant to be temporary. By the end of this discussion, you'll feel more prepared to make informed choices, helping you reclaim comfort, safeguard your health, and enjoy the daily experiences you treasure, like visiting family, gardening, or simply reading a book without that nagging pain holding you back. So if you've been feeling uncertain about shingles pain relief, or if you're already taking something but not sure whether it's the best option, get ready to discover fresh insights. We'll walk through each type of medication step by step, exploring real-life examples from other seniors who found ways to balance pain control with overall health. Together, we'll reveal practical approaches that can help you stay safe, protected, and in tune with your body's changing needs. Let's begin by challenging the very first misconception that often crops up, that the only way to deal with shingles pain is to ignore it or grin and bear it. That couldn't be further from the truth. There are genuine, safe solutions when you know what to look for and how to use them wisely. First, let's talk about a medication type that's likely in your cabinet already, though you might overlook just how helpful it can be: over-the-counter analgesics, often referred to as basic pain relievers. Over-the-counter analgesics, like acetaminophen and ibuprofen. Many seniors believe that over-the-counter means too mild to make a real difference, or they may fear these medicines are not safe after 70. But here's the truth: simple analgesics, used correctly, can be a first line of defense against shingles pain. Joyce, 74, is a great example. She had a shingles flare-up that made even light clothing brushing against her skin feel unbearable. She was hesitant about taking strong prescription medications, so she tried to endure the pain on her own, assuming nothing short of a heavy-duty drug could help. After a week of restless nights, she reached out to a pharmacist friend who suggested a very straightforward approach: regular acetaminophen doses, spaced out to avoid going over the recommended daily limit. The result was surprising. Joyce experienced a noticeable reduction in her discomfort, which allowed her to sleep more deeply. This small change also gave her a stronger sense of control when she did need to speak with her doctor about additional treatments. The misconception here is that many think if it's over the counter, it's either too weak to help or too risky for long-term use. But used in moderation and under a doctor's guidance, everyday analgesics can manage mild to moderate shingles pain effectively. Of course, you must watch out for potential interactions with other prescriptions, especially if you're already taking medication for blood pressure or arthritis. For instance, ibuprofen or naproxen can sometimes pose a challenge if you have kidney problems or a history of stomach issues. That's why talking to your healthcare provider or pharmacist is essential before starting even a seemingly harmless remedy. The key is a balanced approach: short-term use, correct dosing, and awareness of any existing health conditions. Always double-check the labels so you don't accidentally exceed recommended amounts, and take note of any specific instructions about timing. Some formulations should be taken with food to reduce stomach irritation. While over-the-counter medications might not eliminate pain entirely, they can lower the volume of discomfort enough to improve your mood and sleep. This relief, in turn, can help you stay more active. Even small tasks like making breakfast or tidying up can become manageable again, which boosts your overall sense of independence. If you've been avoiding basic pain relievers because you assume they're either unsafe or too weak, consider giving them a proper chance, under professional supervision. They often serve as the foundation upon which additional therapies are built. Instead of thinking, this pain is too intense, over-the-counter stuff won't help, you might find that it eases your symptoms more than expected, especially when combined with other strategies like gentle stretching or topical treatments. With that in mind, let's move on to a category that people often overlook until the pain becomes too severe: topical analgesics, such as medicated creams and patches, which can directly target shingles-affected areas. Topical analgesics, creams, patches, and ointments. A big myth about shingles pain is that it resides so deep in the nerves that a topical solution couldn't possibly help. Yet many older adults have discovered the targeted relief that comes from using topical creams or patches formulated for nerve-related discomfort. These products often contain ingredients like lidocaine or capsaicin, which work by numbing the skin or redirecting pain signals. Take Clarence, for example. At 78, he initially tried a prescription painkiller that left him feeling groggy and disconnected, an outcome he disliked, as it interfered with his daily walk around the block. A nurse suggested he discuss lidocaine patches with his doctor. When approved, Clarence found these patches alleviated the burning sensation on his torso without making him feel as though he'd just taken a sedative. For Clarence, the sense of normalcy was worth everything. He could get back to mild exercise, which in turn helped keep the rest of his body and mind more active. The misconception: topical creams just mask the pain, they don't solve anything, overlooks the fact that shingles pain can be significantly dulled by focusing on the exact spots where nerve irritation is at its peak. While a cream or patch won't cure shingles or eliminate deeper nerve issues, it can serve as a non-invasive approach to reduce discomfort, particularly if your rash is confined to a small area. For seniors concerned about medication overload, topical options can be gentler on the liver and kidneys because they're not swallowed. Still, they come with their own set of precautions. Certain creams can irritate the skin if you have sensitivities, and some patches can't be worn for more than a specific number of hours a day. Checking the instructions and consulting your doctor is vital. One thing to keep in mind is that you often must apply these products consistently over a period to see real benefits. A single application might help temporarily, but shingles pain can persist, so a regular schedule can lead to longer-lasting results. Keep in touch with your healthcare team if you notice any unusual skin reactions or if the product seems less effective over time. Emotionally, it can be reassuring to have a hands-on approach. You place the patch or massage in the cream, and you feel you're taking direct action against the pain. This small ritual can shift your mindset from feeling helpless to being actively engaged in your care. Combined with gentle movements like light stretching or brief walks, topical analgesics can help restore a sense of momentum in your daily life. Before we discuss our third type of medication, take a moment to think about your current approach. Have you been dismissing over-the-counter pills or topical options because you didn't realize how effective they might be? Or perhaps you've been relying solely on them without considering additional help. Jot down any questions that come to mind so you can bring them to your pharmacist or doctor. It's never too late to revise your plan. Now let's move on to one of the most commonly prescribed options for shingles-related nerve pain: certain anticonvulsant medications. Anticonvulsants for nerve pain, such as gabapentin or pregabalin. When the burning or shooting pain of shingles refuses to subside, many doctors look to anticonvulsants that also double as nerve pain managers. This might sound strange. Why would a medication originally designed for seizures help with shingles? The reason is that these drugs can calm hyperactive nerve signals, the same signals that can keep your shingles pain flaring up around the clock. Despite their usefulness, there's a prevalent worry among seniors that anticonvulsants are too heavy or come with confusing side effects like dizziness or memory lapses. Margaret, 80, was dealing with severe post-herpetic neuralgia after her shingles rash cleared. She initially resisted her doctor's recommendation to try gabapentin because she'd heard rumors it would leave her feeling foggy. Eventually, the pain became so persistent, she was losing sleep and social invitations. She decided to start with a very low dose, gradually increasing it under her doctor's supervision. Over a few weeks, Margaret found her nighttime pain decreased enough to let her rest through the night. While she did feel some lightheadedness at first, this subsided as her body adjusted. By communicating closely with her healthcare provider, Margaret could find a middle ground where she reaped the nerve-calming benefits without feeling too sluggish. The misconception, "I'll become a zombie if I use nerve pain medications," can really hold people back from exploring a legitimate source of relief. Not everyone experiences side effects to the same degree, and many of them can be managed or minimized by starting low and going slow. Of course, you should let your doctor know about every other medication you're on, because interactions can happen. For instance, some blood pressure medications or sleep aids might intensify drowsiness when combined with anticonvulsants. The emotional win here is significant. Effective nerve pain control can open the door to better sleep, reduced anxiety, and an improved overall mood. When the constant burning or stabbing lessens, you're more likely to engage in activities that bring you joy, like chatting with friends, attending community events, or simply focusing on a good book for longer than a few minutes. You also regain some of that mental energy that chronic pain often drains away. If you're on the fence about trying these medications, consider discussing a trial period with your healthcare team. Ask if you can start at a lower dosage and keep a daily journal of how you feel. Note any side effects and improvements. This gives you concrete information to share with your doctor so you can tweak the plan as needed. It's all about finding a balance between pain relief and day-to-day functionality, which is especially important as you age. Before we move on, remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to managing shingles pain. Each of these medication types can be effective, but each also comes with its own set of cautions. Now let's turn to a class of drugs that often scares people due to stories of dependency and severe side effects: opioids. But when used carefully and with close medical oversight, they can have a role in controlling intense shingles pain. Opioids, short-term, low-dose options under strict supervision. It's understandable to feel apprehensive about opioids. Many seniors have heard unsettling stories about addiction, tolerance, and the dulling of everyday life. But there's a common misconception that opioids are never safe for older adults. While it's true they must be approached with great caution, for some people facing unbearable shingles pain that isn't relieved by other methods, a short-term, low-dose opioid can be a vital bridge to comfort. Let's look at Harold, 76. He tried multiple treatments: over-the-counter painkillers, topical creams, and even low-dose gabapentin. Yet the sharp nerve-based agony in his shoulder still flared so badly it impacted his sleep and his ability to use his arm. At his wit's end, Harold reluctantly discussed the possibility of an opioid prescription with his doctor, but only for a limited time frame. They agreed on a short course with precise directions to reevaluate every few days. Harold tracked his pain levels, sleep quality, and any side effects like constipation or drowsiness. Within a week, he noticed enough relief to start gentle arm exercises. Another week later, he began transitioning off the opioid by reducing the dosage. Through close monitoring and a strict plan, Harold avoided the risks he feared while obtaining the relief he desperately needed. The key misunderstanding is opioids will automatically lead to addiction or dangerous side effects. They definitely carry a risk, particularly if misused or taken for a long duration. Side effects like constipation, nausea, or drowsiness can be more pronounced in seniors. That's why these medications should always be a last resort, used under tight oversight by a healthcare professional who understands your full medical picture. For instance, if you have a history of respiratory issues, combining opioids with certain sleep aids can be problematic. But in carefully screened cases, short-term opioid therapy can offer a window of respite that makes other pain management strategies, like physical therapy or gradually resuming normal activities, more viable. Emotionally, finally getting relief from severe pain can drastically improve morale, which is essential for healing and well-being. Constant agony can foster isolation or depression, particularly if you feel you've tried every other avenue. Gaining even a brief rest from the pain can remind you that better days are still possible, helping you remain proactive in your own care rather than giving in to despair. Before we explore our final category, now might be a good time to pause and ask yourself, what's your relationship with pain medication in general? Are there concerns you've never voiced? Take a moment to jot them down, whether it's fear of side effects or worry about expense. Then share these concerns with your doctor or a trusted pharmacist. Keeping lines of communication open can prevent small problems from escalating. With that in mind, let's move on to a somewhat lesser-known but increasingly recognized group of treatments. Tricyclic antidepressants used specifically for nerve-related shingles pain. Tricyclic antidepressants used for nerve pain management. It can sound odd to treat pain with an antidepressant, but tricyclic antidepressants, TCAs, have long been known for their ability to help with certain nerve pain issues, including the lingering discomfort of shingles. The assumption many seniors have is, I'm not depressed, so why would I take an antidepressant? But the mechanism here isn't about lifting mood. Rather, low doses of certain TCAs can calm the overactive nerve signals that amplify pain. Consider Dorothy, 82, who struggled with nerve pain on her scalp and forehead after a bout of shingles. It was bad enough that even washing her hair became excruciating. She resisted her doctor's suggestion of a TCA because she believed antidepressants would alter her personality or make her reliant on a drug she didn't need. After careful explanation that this was a very low dose aimed at pain modulation, she agreed to give it a shot. Over several weeks, Dorothy noticed that everyday touch, like brushing her hair, was far less painful. She continued her routine of gentle scalp massages and careful hair care. Her mood also improved, not because the medication was acting as an antidepressant per se, but because the reduction in pain allowed her to engage more fully in day-to-day activities, which naturally brightened her outlook. A misconception here is that all antidepressants are the same, and they only work for depression. In reality, tricyclics at specific dosages can target certain nerve pathways, reducing the volume of pain signals. Of course, there can be side effects like dry mouth, drowsiness, or changes in blood pressure. These are especially relevant for older adults who may already be on multiple medications. Regular communication with your doctor or a specialist is crucial to adjusting the dose or switching to a different medication if problems arise. The upside is significant for some seniors, regaining normal daily functions that had become torturous. Emotionally, easing nerve pain can help break that spiral of discomfort and sleeplessness, ultimately encouraging more physical movement and social interaction. Feeling confident enough to go on a short outing or welcome friends over can be a refreshing change if you've been avoiding activities due to shingles pain. As we wrap up these 5 categories, over-the-counter analgesics, topical treatments, anticonvulsants, opioids, in carefully managed circumstances, and tricyclic antidepressants. Hopefully you can see that there's a range of approaches you can tailor to your unique body and situation. None of these medicines is a magic bullet, and all of them come with precautions and side effects. But having options can be reassuring, especially if one approach isn't fully effective or proves intolerable. Combining medication with other treatments like gentle exercise, physical therapy, or relaxation techniques can further improve your odds of coping with shingles pain successfully. Now let's bring it all together with a clear-eyed look at what these 5 approaches mean for your health journey and how to take the next step in a safe, balanced way. If you've followed along this far, you've heard about 5 different classes of medication that can make a difference in managing shingles pain: over-the-counter pain relievers, topical products, anticonvulsants, carefully supervised opioids, and tricyclic antidepressants. Each has its share of success stories, potential side effects, and varying degrees of suitability depending on your overall health profile. But perhaps the most important takeaway is that shingles pain is not something you simply have to endure because you're getting older. Age may come with its own hurdles, like slower healing or multiple prescriptions, but there are still pathways to greater comfort and a more active life. The urgency here stems from how quickly shingles pain can worsen if neglected. If you're in agony every day, you might find yourself avoiding activities you once enjoyed. That isolation or reduced mobility can escalate into bigger health issues, like muscle weakness, poor balance, or even feelings of hopelessness. By taking proactive steps now, you can potentially stop shingles pain from defining your life and keep it confined to a rough patch you navigated and overcame. Try imagining for a moment what it would feel like to wake up with little to no burning or stabbing in your skin. Picture yourself making breakfast, chatting on the phone, or stepping outside for a leisurely walk, all without that grimace of discomfort. That's the transformation many seniors experience when they find the right combination of shingles pain management. It might not mean being pain-free 24/7, but it can make each day far more manageable and uplifting. Your next steps might range from scheduling a doctor's appointment to perform a complete medication review, especially crucial if you're juggling multiple prescriptions, to calling a trusted pharmacist for preliminary guidance on over-the-counter options. If you're hesitant about stronger medications, discuss a short trial with a low dose, or ask about topical creams that can target the worst areas without taxing your entire system. Or maybe you're someone who has been stuck on one medication for a while, unsure if it's truly effective. In that case, exploring an alternative class of drugs with your healthcare provider might open up new avenues of relief. If you feel ready to make changes, start by writing down specific questions or concerns. Are you worried about side effects? Do you wonder how to safely combine these medications with the ones you already take? Are you uncertain about how long you should continue a certain prescription? Clarity in these questions will lead to more productive conversations with your medical team. Alternatively, if you're cautious about medication in general, ask your doctor about adding non-drug approaches, like TENS therapy, certain gentle exercises, or even acupuncture. In some cases, blending medication with complementary methods can produce a well-rounded plan that keeps side effects low while still relieving pain. For those of you who want to show extra initiative, consider talking about a medication exit strategy before you even start. That means determining how long you'll be on a certain drug, when you'll taper off, and what signs indicate it's time to switch. This framework can give you peace of mind that you won't be on a potentially risky medication longer than necessary. It also helps you feel more in control, preventing that concern of, what if I get stuck on this forever? If you're looking for an immediate small step, share this information with a friend or family member who might also be dealing with shingles pain. Feeling like part of a community can boost your morale and commitment to finding the best solution. A buddy system, where you compare notes on questions for the doctor or experiences with new treatments, can help you stay engaged and confident. Above all, remember that you've gathered a lifetime of wisdom and resilience. This is just another hurdle that you can navigate with the right tools and support. Ask questions, seek second opinions if needed, and trust that an informed, balanced approach to medication can safeguard both your comfort and overall health. Before we wrap up, here's a gentle reminder. Never make changes to your medication regimen without a proper consultation. That includes stopping a medication you've been on for a while, because abrupt changes can sometimes trigger withdrawal or worsen pain. Stay proactive, stay informed, and stay open to new possibilities. There's no best single medication for everyone, but with careful guidance, you can find a combination that fits your body, your circumstances, and your goals. May you step forward with courage, a sense of safety, and renewed optimism about your ability to handle life's challenges, even shingles pain, at any age.